In this simple stretch, we're going to talk about borrowing. Well, we're talking about using templates so that you can create something new out of something that is being offered for your editing purposes. So I'm at Slides Carnival. It's one of our favorite websites for Google Slides templates. And I'm going to take this presentation and make it my own. And this is something that uses Google Slides to do it. So I slide down here and say use Google Slides theme. This will open in a preview mode, and you'll need to press the use template button in order to make a copy in your Google Drive. You can take a quick look at all the featured layouts that they have in a Slides Carnival template. So many of these sites have lovely designs. But I'll be perfectly honest with you, the orange and red theme isn't my favorite, and I would really like to make this more conducive to my class and look more like what I want to teach. So let's start with that. I notice that I can't change any of these colors. They may be part of a background. So when I look, I notice that the background just says it's white. The reason for that is we need to change the slide master. If you click on View Master, this will take you into the slide masters and all the different layouts associated with this Google slide deck. At the top, the master slide indicates what is the default for every layout in this presentation. So the default font is here, and I'm noticing it is Lato. And then for all of the different fonts, I'm seeing those as well, and the sizes. Let's start with fonts. Maybe this isn't your favorite font. I would really prefer something more stylish. Notice that I've changed the font on the master slide. When I start to look at the different layouts, the fonts have changed. That's good. Let's keep going. So the layouts. This master slide does not have a background associated with it. If I want something to appear on every slide, then I will put it on the master slide first. I'm going to import from my computer an icon that I have. Here's my logo. And did you notice how it populated all of the other layouts? Well, let's make it a little smaller. I'm going to bring it down to the left-hand corner. And I actually don't like the cropping on it. So I will select it, come up to the crop, and I'm going to choose to crop as a shape, and that shape will be a circle. All right, layouts. There are so many to choose from, and they all have names. This layout has a name at the top. It's called the title. If I don't want to call it the title, I can rename it whatever I'd like. So maybe I will call it my main slide. This is the one with lots of color. What about these colors? If you click, you'll notice these are really just an object that have been colored in Google Slides. I'm going to right click on there, and I'm going to find this ungroup. Each of these is a separate shape, and I'll show you how I know, because now that I've ungrouped it, I can bring it out and put it back. Because it's a shape, I can recolor it. So now that I have this wavy thing in the front, I'm going to come up here to my paint bucket. It's set for gradient. I can look at the solids if I want and see what they look like. Or I can go back to gradient and choose that. I love the gradients. It looks really nice. I'm going to work with each one of these separately and choose a slightly different shade. On this last shape, I'm going to do a custom gradient. So I'm still in the gradient. Click on custom. And this little interface shows up. Whatever you click on for the first square here on the left will be the start of your gradient, and whatever you click on for the second square will be the end of the gradient. So if I've selected the first square, and I'm going to choose a color, a fairly light blue, and then I click on the second square, and I can choose a different color. Let's see what that looks like. Totally different feel already for this presentation. It's easy if you want to continue to recolor all of these based on your selections, or if you regroup this, that would mean holding down Control and clicking on each of the objects and then grouping. You could copy and paste them to a different slide. And in this case, I might want to bring it down a little lower. Or conversely, you can just do this process again on the other shapes on the slides. So as you can see, I've been having a lot of fun with color and changing up the style quite a bit. These shapes are great because I'm copying, I'm pasting them. You can see I'm pasting different versions of some grouped shapes together, twirling them around a bit, making this really something a lot different than what we started with and quite a bit different feel. If you click on the text icon, you can add a title placeholder, a subtitle placeholder, or body text. So I'll add a body text placeholder here. Notice how it inherited the body text that we worked on at the very beginning on the master title slide. So what about color? There are theme colors and we can change them. Under colors, right here at the top, we can come over to the right and look at different colors that have been changed, as you can tell, because I've changed the shapes to these colors, different accents. So maybe I'm not fond of having yellow as an accent color, and I would rather have a blue. Come in. You can change any of your color theme to fit what you prefer. I like to make sure I look for what color my links will be. Most people are looking for either blue or purple links. To finish up my custom slides, I'm going to head over to one of many sites that has free Creative Commons images for us to use, and that is Pexels. And I love this site because I can download lots of artistic looking images. So let me find a couple here to download. Always want to copy the attribution piece so that you can add it to your slides. You can even add it on the master slides so it doesn't disappear. Let's see how artistic we can make this look. I'm going to stretch it fairly good size to start. And now it's time to start moving it to the back. So I'm going to click on Order and Send to Back. I'm going to go into the Format options, and I kind of want to make this more of a black and white look to it. Not so sure I'm loving that one. Let's see, maybe that will work for me. And maybe a slight adjustment in transparency, not a lot, just a little. And then the last thing I want to do is I want to get rid of the white background because it's a little too stark with that image. Move that image up a little bit so you can tell that it's a camera. There we go. And then I'm going to just right click and change the background on this one slide. And I think I want to go with a light gray to sort of match. Yeah, maybe a little darker than that one. Let's go change the background one more time and try to get a little darker gray. How about this color? There we go. Now that really nicely blends with the image there, and it's sort of, you can tell what it is. All right. We are done editing our master slides. We are going to close all of these extra windows we have open, close the master slides. Now I'm ready to look at what I have here in this Slides Carnival slides. I've got my own feel to these slides. They have their own look. I can certainly add my titles in here as I would. I'm going to now rename it and store it in a place that I can reuse over and over again. One other piece, you want to make sure you check out all the cool little icons down near the bottom that they offer with the slides. These are free to use and they are spectacular because you can zoom way in on them. Let me show you an example. Let's paste it on one of our slides. Make it nice and big. And what's great about these icons is you can recolor them to match your theme if you like. All right, a totally revamped template.